Yá'át'ééh to you. To you, yes, to you. Thank you so much, Yá'át'ééh, for coming to this video and for wanting to read with me. Okay, so it's been a while since I read, but I'm a mom too, so it gets pretty busy and sometimes it's pretty fun. I never forget about reading these books to you because I read to my kids too. So let's go ahead and start this book called The Turquoise Boy. Turquoise Boy. Turquoise Boy. A Navajo legend. So thank you so much. Here we go, all right? Let's go. We can do this. We can do this. This is good. Oh, let me read the first part of the book. I see the earth. I am looking at her and smile because she makes me happy. The earth, looking back at me, is smiling too. May I walk happily and lightly upon her. Navajo chant. And that's kind of how we kind of think about our Mother Earth, is in that way. We have to think positive thoughts as much as we can. In the days of long ago, when the Holy Ones still visited this land, a young Navajo named Turquoise Boy looked down on his people. In the heat of the desert, he saw them toil in their fields of corn and squash. He watched them labor under baskets heavy with fruit and nuts. Turquoise Boy was saddened. My father, Sunbearer, brings sunshine for the crops, but he offers little else. If only there was something I could do, he wondered. Mother, he said, the people work hard in the fields and search long in the desert for food. Surely there is something to make life easier for them. Changing Woman looked up from grinding her corn. That may be so, my son. I am not certain. But you are mother of all people. Do you not wish for this also? Changing Woman resumed her grinding. What you seek is not a simple thing, she said. You must prove yourself worthy. Perhaps you would find the answer with the talking gods of the White Shell Mountain of the East. I will do as you say, Mother, said Turquoise Boy, and off he set off. Oh, and he set off at once. And here he sees all the people down here working hard, and he's wondering, how can he help those people? How can he help the people? Many days he walked before reaching a giant hogan. It was surrounded by baskets filled with white shells. The talking gods greeted him and asked the purpose of his visit. He said, the people work hard in their fields and search long in the desert for food. Surely there is something to make their lives easier. The talking gods shook their heads. What you seek is not ours to give. Take these white shells and go to our brothers of the sacred Turquoise Mountain. Perhaps they know the answer. Turquoise Boy accepted their gift and turned his steps southward. Many suns had passed when he finally reached a giant hogan surrounded by baskets filled with turquoise stones. He greeted the Holy Ones and asked them his question. The people work hard in their fields and search long in the desert for food. Surely there is something to make their lives easier. But the talking gods sent him away with only a basket of blue stones. Perhaps our brothers of the yellow abalone shell mountain in the west know the answer, they said. But the talking gods sent him away with, when Turquoise Boy arrived at the holy mountain of the west, the talking gods there said, what you seek is not ours to give. Accept this basket of shells and visit our brothers on the Black Jet Mountain of the north. Perhaps they know the answer. But the talking gods of the north did not give him the answer. Take this basket of jet stones and return to your mother, they said, who would know better than Changing Woman. So his mother's name is Changing Woman, and he went to all of the mountains on all the directions to ask him for help with the question of how he could help people, have an easier life. And they said, go back to your mom. So I think right now he's pretty confused. Turning his tired moccasins back to Dineta, Turquoise Boy carried home the baskets from the talking gods. I have failed, Mother, he said. I did not find a way to make life easier for the people. I bring only these gifts from the talking gods. Changing Woman smiled. You have done well, my son, she said. But Mother, said Turquoise Boy, I do not understand. The talking gods said you would know best how to make life easier for the people. In answer, Changing Woman left her grinding stone and went inside of her hogan. Soon she returned with a small pouch of soft deerskin. From each of the 4 baskets, she took a shell or stone and dropped it into the pouch. Take this to your father, she said. Surely he will see your worthiness. So she took each stone that from the baskets and she put it into this little satchel, this pouch of deerskin here. And she's saying, go to your dad. He's the son. And that's where he's gonna go. Turquoise Boy tied the pouch to his belt and traveled towards Sunbearer's home in the east. He saw rattlesnakes coiled in the sun and scorpions hurrying from one clump of sage to another. The wind carried the scent of juniper. Oh, juniper smells so good. An air spirit whispered, this is not an easy path. Perhaps you should turn back. The young Navajo laughed. I am not afraid, my friend. I have walked this path before. I have songs to protect me. Suddenly, fiery hot hands swirled up around and cacti hurled their needles. Boulders from the cliffs fell toward him. Turquoise Boy chanted rhythmically. Beauty before me, beauty above me, beauty before me, beauty behind me, beauty above me, and beauty beneath me. At once, the sand settled into place. The cacti held their spears, and the rocks rolled harmlessly away. Turquoise Boy sang as he walked on until finally his path led across a rainbow bridge to Sunbearer's great hogan. Hissing filled the air as snakes flicked their tongues at him. Strong winds tore at his hair and lightning bolts seared the sky. But Turquoise Boy could not be frightened away. Just then, Sunbearer stepped out of his lodging. He greeted the boy and asked the purpose of his visit. I bring greetings from Changing Woman, Father, said Turquoise Boy, handing him the pouch. The people work hard in their fields and search long in the desert for food. Surely there is something to make their lives easier. Sunbearer shook his head. In what way, my son? Turquoise Boy thought of the many moons his search had taken him, and of his worn moccasins and his sore feet. Walking is slow and tiring. Perhaps there is a better way to get from place to place, said Turquoise Boy. Sunbearer frowned. I travel on sunbeams, rainbows, and lightning. It is foolish to think mankind can do this. He gave back the deerskin pouch. Return to your mother. It is time for my daily journey to the west. So it doesn't sound like he got much help from his dad. What do you think is going to happen next? With a heavy heart, Turquoise Boy once again walked the path homeward. He crossed the mountain that is wide. He saw a ladder sticking up from a hole in the ground. This was not here when I passed before. I have heard of a world below. Could this be a way to reach it? He looked down the hole and was startled to see an old fat man sitting at the front of the ladder. Is this one who walks the earth? Called the man. It is I, Turquoise Boy. How are you? Or who are you? I have been called many things, but you may call me Mirage Man. Come down so I can see you better. Turquoise Boy descended the 12 rungs and stood in a wide cavern. The old man asked, What is your purpose in traveling this path? I seek a way to make life easier for the people. Mirage Man saw the pouch hanging at the boy's belt. You are the one I knew would come someday, he said. Come, I will show you something. He walked along a path until he came to a door facing east. He opened it and Turquoise Boy gasped. In a white pollen mist grazing on wildflowers were magnificent creatures he had never seen before. "These are Sun Bearer's horses," said Mirage Man. Then, from Changing Woman's pouch, he took the white shell and placed it in the horse's mouth. Next, he removed it and returned it to the pouch together with pollen from the horse's mane. So Mirage Man took the horses that were from the sun, that were the sun's horses, and he put the medicine that was from Changing Woman's pouch into their mouth, and he returned it back to the pouch. Let's see what he does next. "Come," said Mirage Man, and he led the boy to the south meadow. There, a sky-colored horse rolled on the ground. Then it stood and shook off a cloud of glittering dust. Behind him, an entire turquoise herd pranced and neighed. Mirage Man repeated his ceremony with the turquoise stone before showing the boy the yellow herd of the west and the black herd of the north. Each time, Mirage Man rolled the proper shell or stone in a horse's mouth and shook pollen from its mane. So they're getting horses from each direction. "Finally," Turquoise Boy said, "these animals would indeed make life easier for the people. How can we prove worthy of such a gift?" Mirage Man was pleased with the question. "First, you must learn to keep the horse sacred," he said, and he taught Turquoise Boy a holy song. "This you must remember and teach the people of the Navajo." He handed back the pouch and said, "Go now. Take this to Changing Woman." Turquoise Boy returned home and found his mother weaving cloth outside the hogan. "I bring a song and gift from Mirage Man," he said. Changing Woman looked up and smiled. "You have indeed proven yourself worthy, my son." She took the pouch. "It is time," she said. "Send messengers to the people and the holy ones. Ask them to come while I go inside and prepare for the hatal." Hatal. I'm pretty sure that means ceremony or singing or prayer. Turquoise Boy did as his mother asked, then went into the hogan to watch her. Changing Woman took a deerskin, spread it on the floor, and put upon it the beads and shells from Mirage Man and the talking gods. So everything that he has collected from his journey, she's putting that on top of the deerskins. Then she took the ears of white corn, yellow corn, and blue corn, and corn of many colors, and she laid that out as well. Over this, she sprinkled sacred corn pollen. Finally, Changing Woman covered all she had done with 12 more skins. "I am ready," she said. "Now you must help me chant." So in a ceremony or a prayer or a singing, there are certain things that need to be done and things that need to be in order for it to work or in order for it to be good. Outside, the people and talking gods had gathered. Moon was there, the Mirage Man, the Mist people. Sun Bearer joined them also. They built a fire and sat on the ground chanting. They sang hogan songs, healing songs, and songs of blessings. Turquoise Boy came out and taught them the song of the horse. Into the night they sang, until finally Sun Bearer left for his daily journey. The god people nodded into sleep, and as they slept, Turquoise Boy closed his eyes tightly and sang for horses. Suddenly, there was neighing under the deerskins, and they trembled and began to rise. Then, with the first rays of the sun, came horses of white shell, turquoise, yellow abalone, and black jewel. They rose up and kicked off their blankets, and as their numbers increased, the Navajo rejoiced. They rejoiced for their gift, and for Changing Woman, and for Turquoise Boy. See, down here is where the horses are coming out of the hogan that they were in, and they're all going out to the east. That's what the ceremony was about. To this day, the people of the Neta offer pollen to the winds, and they chant for the sacred horse. Nejoko anehaye, Nejoko anehaye. How joyous he neighs, how joyous he neighs. The end. It's the end of the story. But in the back of this book are little excerpts or little information about the Navajo, which is super cool. I'm not going to go too much into it, but here's this page here. And this is a mitten in the Monument Valley. And this is where me and my husband went for our honeymoon. And here are pictures of the hogans that some people live in, or some people have ceremony in, and some people have prayers and singings in. Here's a picture of a family right there and the hogan that they live in. And right here is a picture of the four corners right here: Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona. I'm from this little area right here. Right here is the Navajo reservation. I'm from right there, from a place called Sawmill. And right here is the Apache reservations, the Yá'át'ééh, the Havasupai, all of these reservations, and all these people are down there in the Four Corner area, just as across America. Oh, there's some great pictures in here of like pictures of the gods, but I don't feel too comfortable showing it because I just feel like it's super sacred to not have to show it onto camera. Thank you so much for coming to this video and reading with me. Oh, I hope you liked it. It's a little bit long, but you know what? It's a great book to read nonetheless. And I know these past couple of weeks have been, or months, should I say, have been really interesting. But you know, I just hope that you are doing good, and I hope that you are surrounding yourself with good things, good people, good thoughts, good words, and all that is good. I wish you good health, good mind, good body, and good spirit. Yá'át'ééh, thank you so much for coming to this video and wanting to read with me. Bye.